and I bumped into his base, his forward outpost, while looking for my expansion, while escorting my MCV. So I've actually left the engineer inside there by the looks of it, and I'm attacking.
Battle control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder, it's Dvoid here. I've got a 1v1 multiplayer game on Summer Camp version 2 map for you. I'm using Russia, and my opponent's using Russia as well for this one. Both going for a standard start. Getting the barracks placed. I mean, some people do have build orders where you don't build a barrack so soon, but I could, myself, I'd never go without a barracks at the start. You know, I've seen players place a refinery before a barracks, even a war factory and more, but no, I always have to have a barracks. And we've got some units engaging, just my first few rifles that I've sent out. But my opponent is clearing this area, look. Yeah, it looks he's not training an engineer at the moment, so I'm guessing he's got a chunk of riflemen early. Yeah, he's gone straight for 20 riflemen, and he hasn't actually got any at his home base. He's gone straight, moving this way, and he has swept the area to secure the oil derrick, but obviously he's not thinking of an engineer right now. He's getting in the way of mine. And I suppose it's a different way of hunting engineers, so I've not seen him do this before. Obviously, this player, I know him that he hunts engineers sometimes, but not using this tactic, because he's catching my rifles out here. Yeah, look, my engineer. Lucky I turned him back in time. I just got gunned down there quite badly. Both building war factories at the moment, so we've got both our refs placed. We're identical for, you know, build. We're both using Russia, so it's similar. We'll see what happens. My opponent's beaten me here. He's stopped me capturing this, and he's heading for my other oil derrick, and he's protecting his own, so he's captured that one. Look, he's got an engineer and a rifleman there, so now he's training some rocket soldiers. I'm probably hard up for cash, because I'm thinking I'm doing better than my opponent, excuse me, but I'm thinking I've probably replaced some lost riflemen. Look, I haven't got many at all, and my cash is quickly running low. Yeah, I've got a single rocket soldier. This isn't good. You know, a bad start can really interfere with your build order. I've got rifle guards placed, but I haven't even got anyone protecting my base. But I am escorting the engineer. He's going for this. I managed to keep the engineer alive. My opponent's sending his APC to scout the situation, and he's sold a refinery, and he's got these technicians guarding the edges of his map. Now he's checked there, yeah, scared him off, luckily. Get the capture in. Yeah, my opponent's going for a scout. So he's seen basics, and he's off. I'm building a heavy tank before I build my second MCV because of the situation and my bad start. I want a heavy tank to help escort my infantry and my MCV when I go to expand. I just want that extra strength. There you go, look. Sometimes comes in handy having a vehicle first. There's still ore being mined, so it's not immediately desperate that I expand, but I am building the MCV now. My opponent, let's see what he's been doing. He's just about to churn out his MCV now, so I'm 17 seconds behind, even though I built that heavy tank. So it's not too bad. Yeah, there we go. There's the MCV. My opponent set up here as quickly as he can, and he's packed up straight away, so I'm guessing, yeah, he's going to place a power plant. I'm guessing it'll go down here somewhere. he needs to place that power plant so he can start building quickly. Yeah, there you go. Now he's heading this way, well escorted. He's got scouts ahead as well, so, and he's actually using that to capture. So these are all doing multiple jobs. You know, they're escorting the MCV, they're scouting ahead. It's secured the area. He knows I'm not here. He knows I'm not here, obviously. So he knows he's safe. And he's now got a front line position where he can produce units. He's doing well. Let's see early army values. We're at 11,000 each. Very close in army values. And I've placed my first expansion, and I've got these ore trucks here quickly. And my opponent hasn't got many units defending his base, but I know he's captured that there. So I've got my APC, the engineer's actually in it. And I bumped into his base, his forward outpost, while looking for my expansion, while escorting my MCV. So I've actually left the engineer inside there by the looks of it, and I'm attacking, excuse me, and yeah, there we go. I've got the APC, and I know it's too soon to release my engineer, and that's what I was thinking about. I'm moving forward, and his engineer is capturing my my construction yard. Now, I had to go for it and try and capture to stop him building base defences and just hope that held it off, but it didn't. And I lost my engineer, I've lost all my units, and I know I've committed to something that has failed and I've blown it. Now my opponent's at 12,000, I'm at 3,000, and my MCV is running. I've lost an expansion. See if I can save the MCV. Unless I've got my hands full, it should be going up. Yes. Nope. Yes. He's running for it. Whether he makes it is another matter. At least I gave him a chance. There's the MCV setting up, and this is my lifeline now, but I didn't have anything like the units to defend it. So my opponent has broken off a couple of heavy tanks, and now he's got all this, look. So he knows he's in control, and I'm here, look, not knowing really what to do. I've just seen these attacking the ore truck, and it died. So it didn't make it back. He positioned these tanks perfectly. He would have seen it move away, drive away anyway. And now I would be aware that he's overrunning my expansion, which is why these trucks are moving away, and the MCV is trying to sneak past. So these two tanks, look, are moving here, because he knows I'm probably going to come back and start mining there, because I haven't got any other choice. He's in control of my closest expansion. Now this force, I'm trying to chase him, and luckily this MCV made it past. But look, there's an ore truck, a stray, and I'm producing units here to fight these tanks. Now they're going to kill some ore trucks before I can produce enough rockets to stop them. And my opponent's at 23,000, I'm at 9,000. There you go, I've lost another ore truck, but I'm moving them away because I know I can't produce units quickly enough to stop them. They'll wreck all my tanks. Look, there's rocket soldier, but I don't want to overcommit. That's too much of an overcommitment. Couple of rocket soldiers will do the job. I have to use everything else I've got to stop my opponent. There you go, look, they've sent those tanks packing. They're on their last bits of health anyway, so that's enough to protect it. Looks like I'm calling everyone up anyway, but I can't send them all away. There's got to be some left there, because there's still ore trucks. But yeah, I'm attacking up front, and my opponent's bringing everything. I have set up my MCV here. I wonder what I've got ready to place. And there you go, I've destroyed this forward expansion, this base push of my opponent, and I've got these units here, look, to protect from those two tanks. And I placed a structure, whatever it wasn't obviously a refinery. And there's that ore truck. And I'm attacking another base push. I've got more than enough there to stop it. And I'm puzzled as to why I can just destroy these without him stopping, and then I saw him hit me here with his main army. And I brought everything, even these guys are moving in now. They can kill that tank, nice one. And he'll know this lot's coming back, because these two structures will show him everything, so he knows he has to move in and do the damage quickly. Here's my MCV's just there alone. And yeah, he's taking out my important structures. There goes my service depot, so I'm not producing vehicles anymore. There goes my war factory, so I can't build any vehicles. But his base defences are attacking. My base defences, sorry. So I know I can move in with my units, and he's still doing damage, and he's between base defences, look. So I'm thinking, alright, this is okay. This is my best chance. So I tried. And I quickly realised, look, that, yeah, I've not got enough infantry to do the damage. And retreating, when that was obvious, retreating wasn't really an option. It was, you know, I can get a few units away, but what of it? There, I've got another expansion there. But it's not going to do me any good. And yes, I've just called it, my opponent. That was my last attempt at defence, you know, and I'm still fighting. Look, I've still got units, but I've called it. It's over. So, you know, there you go, I've surrendered. So that was a bit of a beating from one of my favourite opponents. Yeah, it was a bit merciless, that, but I think a bad start just snowballed and got worse. I've congratulated my opponent. He did very well, I can't deny that. So here's the army graph. Look at that. After the first engagement, he was ahead anyway, but in fact, when the early game, we were even. It was just, it went downhill for me after that. Yeah, after that first defeat, I never recovered. Look at his army. Too much there for me. So, earnings graph. Yeah, my earnings were okay. It matched my opponent, but soon, when I took damage, he took out my income. There's my opponent's finishing army. Not that much, actually. I thought let's have a look at the value. Oh, it's only a 9,000 army value. He didn't have as much. I thought he'd have more than that. So he's only got a couple of tanks. These wounded tanks, that's all he's got. If I'd have had a little bit more to make a stand with, you know, down here I had an expansion and an MCV. Maybe I was a bit... Nah, let's just... He's got a 9,000 army value. He lost 9 structures. I lost 25. I took a beating. My opponent killed 170 units. I killed 161, so it was a close fight in that sense. Yeah, my opponent's destroyed 56,000 credits worth of my assets. I destroyed 36,000 credits worth of theirs. So yeah, they did well there. No support powers in effect, and production is still standard, but still going. Let's have a look at the economy. Yeah, my opponent had plenty of cash. I didn't. That would have ensured his victory if I had tried to fight on. But if I'd have brought resources and units away from the fight up here, and tried to make a stand later, it would only mean I've killed less of his units up here. So, you know, this is a decent force of infantry that, you know, look, there's a lot of veterans and that. He can soon produce tanks. He's got the map control, oil derricks. So, yeah, I was right to call it. And I'm going to add another replay to this one. There's the basics. My opponent was at 45 actions per minute. I was at 30. There's your scores, 581 to 355. Yeah, that's it. My opponent earned 77,000, I earned 55,000, so I didn't do too badly for cash, but just he did better in every way, I suppose. And it was just that bad start, didn't help at all. But there's the first game for you. I'll move on to another game. This, like I say, this game actually was... It was from a couple of nights ago, and this game that I'm going to add to it is my last game that I've just played. So this is a 1v1 on Sepereretness map, and I'm using Russia, my opponent's using France for this game. Let's have a look. Because with this map, your spawn point has one single large patch of ore, and there are 3 mines in it. I think when I mentioned it before I said 3 fields, but there aren't. There's 3 mines, so when it regrows you get a decent amount. So I tend to stick to my standard build order, but you don't have to. You only need 2 refineries and you're alright. So if you adjust your build order accordingly, you'd be fine. You don't need 3. You can get an early expansion, because early expansions and map control, because there's 2 main expansions each, that means taking control of one of your opponents and being able to hold it will give you a nice advantage. So a 2 ref start isn't a bad idea. Now what the heck is this? there's one power plant, a war factory, and a refinery. So this player's gone without barracks, and I've seen that there's no excuse me. I've seen that there's no presence, no riflemen, no engineers, nothing capturing his oil derrick. So I've moved in a bit closer, and I've just taken my second oil derrick. And he's got past me with the construction yard. I didn't notice that. But these fake power plants, let's see if I notice that. Excuse me, yeah, there we go, look. I've found that power plant, but I didn't know it was fake. But I moved away, so hoping my opponent didn't notice that I've just seen it. So I'm bringing a few rifles here, look. But yeah, he's got a lot of fake power plants. That's going overboard. It's okay, I build fake power plants, but you need real buildings as well. And you see, I noticed it's fake because a few rifle shots destroyed them, so I don't want that. I'm not interested in fake power plants. There's 3 real ones there, but he doesn't need that much power. He's got 1 barracks. Let's just check early army value. 6,000 to 1,000. Yeah, it won't help you doing that. You need... I use the fake structures, and I build them to protect real ones. So yeah, in this case up here, yeah, that's right, but you built the fake ones first. You build the fake ones around the real ones. But he needs more units. He's got plenty of ore trucks, look, he's done well there. That's actually interesting. So if I allow him, he's got more ore trucks than I have. He's earned 10 grand, I've earned 13. So he's not got a better economy, but that has actually made this build a little more viable. There's a ranger. I wondered why I could attack that and get no response. I didn't realise it was because there was nothing to respond with. And I've got this small starting force, and I've seen 2 rangers look, and I thought, right, he's checking out what's going on here, but I knew he's seen my engineer and killed it. So I was like, right. And that just blew up straight away. And then I was under attack here, and knew I had to get back. And he's built up a force there fairly quickly. Yeah, we're even in army value. That's interesting. And I know he's just killed a large force, but that's interesting for him to build up that force so quickly. That's quite good. And he ran them all down. None escaped except my APC. I took out 1, maybe 2 rangers. So yeah, he's destroyed 4,000 credits worth of my units. I've destroyed 1,000. So yeah, he's doing well. You see how you get less view range from fake structures? But they are useful in combat still. You place them around and in front of your units. You can place them very quickly and give your units extra view range over the enemy. I've seen it done before, and it's been used against me, and I couldn't fight it because this player was good at doing it, whereas when I tried it once, it just meant I had no base defences, and I couldn't do it practically against a good opponent. So I will practice it, but with France, you can alternate base defences and fake structures just to build up loads more stuff in front of your units to give you more view range. And I'm at 10,000, my opponent's at 9, so he's kept up for army value. That early victory was very good for him. And it doesn't look like I'm really aware. My MCV's running straight through the enemy. That's bad. And I didn't know exactly what to do, so I let it carry on just to get it out of enemy fire. But I knew the light tank would run it down, so I had to build that and the flame tower after deploying it. But I couldn't let the flame tower keep firing. It'll kill it. But I pressed the stop key, which doesn't work, but then I was trying to find the stop fire mode. But the flame tower was the biggest threat to my construction yard in that situation. I think my opponent might have known because he stayed close with his light tank. He could have backed away to here and or here, more like, and taken a few shots, but he stayed close, so he may have known. But defeating that force means I'm at 15,000 army value, my opponent's at 7,000 army value. He's got a couple of medium tanks and a light tank on the way, and he's gathering this small force with them. So it actually looks like he's going in the perfect direction, but he's using move command. That'll lose you your army. and I've seen the silo. So I now want to capture that, but not until I've got a radar dome. That was the first thing I thought, get the chokehold on the silo, so I can capture it, but not capture it, keep resetting the capture bar. Look, he's attacked my expansion, so I've got to move that away. And I thought I need to press on with my attack and build a force here. He's got idle units. Now this is bad because this is he's got no other MCV, and when I destroy this he can't build an MCV. So let's see if he's actually trying to build one. Yes. Now that's not going to happen, mate, unless he stays alive for 20 seconds. Let's see it if it does. I'll be happy for him if it does. Hopefully this isn't primary, because if it comes out there I'll kill it. But 10 seconds. I'm hoping for him, I'm rooting for him. 5 seconds. 1. Yes, he's built it. Good for him. I've just destroyed it, but good for him. He made it. I thought he had no chance. I'm happy for him, but my flamethrowers are frying the rest of his assets, so it's not gonna help for long. He's still got these. He took the oil derrick in the centre from me. So that was well, and he's got it did well there. But look, there's that small silo I've left alive because I want to get the chokehold on it. But the engineer and APC I was gathering to do it were killed. They both of them ran into the enemy force, and look, I've got very little here to stop them. But I knew I was ready. Look, I've got these on the way, and this is enough. I can have my primary production here, and I've cleared away that expansion. And my radar dome is ready. See my tank screening whatever assets I've got. Perfect example of how to defend your base and take very few losses. And flamethrowers do wonders for suppressing the enemy infantry. They're really effective flamethrowers. Now I know I saw that MCV, so I can move north. And at this point, I can now start training thieves and engineers. There you go, there's a thief. And I'm actually going to do the chokehold on that. It looks like it's got a bit... Yeah, it's full. So he's got 11 grand. Now that's escaped. These have. But I'm not using the thieves yet. I should have done, but I want the engineer there first. He won't be thinking about that silo. I don't think he'll be bothered about it at all, because you see, I've checking this out, overrun that, and he's called it just as my engineer reached it. You know, I was just about to get that chokehold, start capturing the silo, and then start putting thieves in, and then I could train more thieves, take my time, and keep resetting the capture bar. Not many players will be aware that it works on silos, and that you can infiltrate silos and steal half the opponent's cash. You shouldn't build them. They're a big threat. Yeah, a big liability, that the threat of the enemy infiltrating them. And if they actually know about my tactic, the chokehold, they'll get an engineer on it and keep it, and keep resetting that capture bar and just keep infiltrating, and they'll own your cash supply. So the players that don't know about silos, like if they do build them, then just infiltrate them. And leave them alive until you have a radar dome. Your opponent will probably forget it. Right, there's the army graph. Look, he was doing okay, my opponent, actually. And after that first victory against me, where I had to fall back and only my APC survived, he was actually doing quite well. But it was a bizarre, strange build. Overboard on the fake structures. And that's fine, building them after, but you need assets first. And then use the fake structures to protect them. Those fake structures gave away his presence up here. Anyway. Right, there's the earnings graph. My opponent actually did well for earnings. That's quite good. My finishing army, a decent amount of tanks, couple of thieves, couple of engineers, and some infantry. A decent enough amount. Here's a combat graph. I've got a 26,000 army value. I lost 5 structures. My opponent lost 24. I killed 109 units. My opponent killed 87. And I destroyed 37,000 credits worth of my opponent's assets. My opponent destroyed 21,000 credits worth of mine. So he actually did okay, it wasn't bad. No support powers in effect. Although I did build a radar dome and thieves, but I didn't build an airfield, that's all. And there's production. I'm still building thieves and heavy tanks. You can't go wrong with that. So let's have a look. Economy. I've still managed to hold on to one oil derrick. My opponent took the central oil derrick and I didn't capture it back, although I did have my second engineer was assigned to, yeah, he was going to capture that, and the first engineer hold the silo. So I did have plans to take that. That's why I didn't destroy it, but I did hold on to one, and I earned 72,000. My opponent earned 56,000, so it's not bad. And he had a nice bit of cash at the end, but he should have spent it on assets and units. But he only had a barracks and a war factory. He did build a second war factory, actually, and he soon built up an army, but, you know, he lost it, and then he lost a lot of units, and then I was too far ahead. So there you go, I've got about £1,000 left. You need to turn it over. But I was at 32 actions per minute. My opponent was at 28. There's the scores, 367 to 254. Basics, etc. And there's 2 games for you. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did like it, give us a sub and a like. And take good care of yourselves. And until next time, thank you very much. And for now, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.